Coming up on City Spotlight, we continue on in the second half of Season 6 on location, and we're back in Shelbyville. First, we'll talk with Shelbyville Mayor Jeff Johnson and Daley Schwengel, the new Shelby County Director of Economic Development, about the upcoming work on Streetscape in Shelbyville, plus the latest on new housing in Shelbyville, and an update on economic development in Shelbyville. Then we'll talk about the latest going on with Shelbyville Schools, with Superintendent of Shelbyville Schools, Shane Schuricht, the new principal at Shelbyville High School, Kyle Ladd, Russ Tomblin, Moulton Middle School principal, and Ryan Scott, Main Street Elementary School principal, about the latest physical changes and programs going on in the Shelbyville School District. It's an information-filled, on-location episode on Shelbyville, here on City Spotlight. City Spotlight is supported by Consolidated Communications. CCI is honored to salute the cities and their leaders in the area, as well as providing TV, internet, and phone service to local homes and businesses. We live where we work and are proud to support the communities we serve. More information available at consolidated.com. And welcome to another edition of City Spotlight. As you can see, we are on location once again. This time we are back in Shelbyville. We're in a familiar setting here, the municipal building here in downtown Shelbyville. And in this first segment, we're going to learn about what's transpiring here in the city of Shelbyville here in the early parts of 2020. And first off, we welcome back to the program the Mayor of Shelbyville, Jeff Johnson. Jeff, great to see you again.
It's good seeing you, so thank you for having us again.
Excellent, very good. And first-time guest to the program, Daley Schwengel. She's the new Shelby County Director of Economic Development. I think I got that right.
Yes.
All right, excellent. Welcome to the program.
Thanks.
Daley.
Glad to be here.
Great to have both of you guys on. Jeff, again, back on the program. Daley, your first time on the program. Can you tell our audience a little bit about yourself, please?
Well, I grew up in Shelbyville. I went off to college at Illinois State and eventually made my way back here. So I'm excited for the new position.
And we were talking before we started recording. I believe I interviewed your father, now former Superintendent of Schools in Arthur, Kenny Schwengel.
Yeah, that's correct.
So father-daughter combination there. Very good. Nice
Small
to have
world.
you on. Excellent. And we have some exciting things happening here in Shelbyville. One thing we've talked about almost every time with Jeff here is Streetscape. Right. And last time we taped with Jeff here, let me clarify that, was about 18 months ago. So a lot of time has transpired, and looks like some work is going to be finally happening on Streetscape here. Tell us about it.
It is. We're pretty excited that with Streetscape that it went out for bid in January, and we should be starting construction in the next month or two. It's going to be something that where we redo the lighting, we redo the sidewalks, we're going to put in some landscaping, and we're pretty excited. The contractor, we should have a meeting before too long, and right. What we want to do is try and coordinate it between the business owners and the contractors and do it on a staged basis so that we don't disrupt them too much.
What a game changer for Shelbyville. You've talked about it and many times here on this program, and this is something that's been in the works and discussion for quite a while.
It has been. There's a lot of different aspects, especially when you're along a state highway. Mm-hmm. But the good news, bad news is along a state highway, you get the traffic, you get all the exposure, mm-hmm. but then there's a lot of other things that you have to take into consideration in the planning process. So we're excited. Part of it is going to be, like I said, just beautification. Mm-hmm. And then part of it is that we're going to be putting in storm sewers and things like that that's going to be underground, but it's going to be helping our split out our sanitary and storm sewers and really prepare us for future growth and for the next 50 and 100 years.
We're taping again here in mid to late February, and the work I understand is going to start in the spring. And how long do you think that'll potentially last?
The biggest part of it, I think, will be done this coming year. It's going to depend upon the weather, but it could potentially roll into next summer too. Okay. And it's going to be, the original streetscape is going to be from the courthouse from Washington down to Broadway. Right. But we've also, at the same time, and with the storm sewer, we're going to be tearing up South Morgan. Right. And so that will carry into next year too as we finish some of it.
One thing that we also talked about with you last time was at the time, June of 2018, it was the last time we talked, mm-hmm. There was a housing survey going on, and since that last 18 months since we talked, Jeff, there's been some results from it, and I guess you're putting those numbers to work.
Yep, we really have, and it's pretty exciting. It takes a little bit of time, but we have somebody locally here that's built some duplexes, and they're not quite finished, but they're pretty far along, so those are going to be ready for occupancy pretty quick. And then actually, we have somebody from over towards your way, Nate Zimmer, that's going to be putting in 32 apartment units, and that should be starting and breaking ground in the next couple months. So we're excited about that. And we're still working with some people on single family and some subdivisions. So, you know, anything worthwhile, it takes a little bit of time to get it all prepped. And because it's like we tell everybody, we want to make sure that this is good for you, good for us, and everybody wins.
That's right. Everybody wins. Yes. Excellent. Thank you very much. And always, Jeff, I always ask mayors and city leaders like yourself about latest economic development. And we'll quickly start with one of your biggest employers, IHI Turbo. Every time we talk, it seems like they're expanding, and looks like some of that expansion work has completed.
It sure has. They've got the building done, and we finished some of the infrastructure extension and improvements this last fall. And so they're going to be looking for hiring now. And over the next year or two, it's going to be kind of staged as production comes on board. But we're pretty excited about the things that are going to be happening out there. And it all ties together. You know, it's part of the more jobs that are coming into town, the more housing we're going to be needing, and more businesses.
More is good.
It is.
What new businesses have popped up in Shelbyville in the last year or so?
I know in the last year or so that we've had a second Mexican restaurant, great food, and it really complements the first one that we have. And so it's great to see them there. We have, you know, some other services. We have a spa. We have some barber shops that have come into town. We have, you know, right across the street here, we have a business that does event planning and provides, you know, the things, the material for the events. Great business there. They do a wonderful job.
Excellent.
And we end up this coming year, we're talking to some people. Dollar Tree is going to be opening in the next few months out on the west end of town. So
very good.
We're pretty excited.
Thank you, Jeff, for those comments, and we look forward to catching up on other new developments in the near future. Want to get Daley's comments here a little bit toward the end of this segment here. And Daley, your title is with Economic Development here in Shelbyville and Shelby County. You hear the comments from Mayor Johnson on the new things that are coming. Your overall thoughts on?
I think it's exciting. I think Shelbyville has a lot to offer, but also has a lot of potential. So I'm excited.
How long have you been on the position?
I just started this week, so.
Oh, congratulations!
Yeah, thank you.
Having you right off the bat. What are you excited about this position that you have, and maybe what are some shorter, long-term goals you'd like to do with this position here in Shelbyville?
Well, I'm excited to see how the housing, how that all turns out, and I'll be working a little bit with the census and everything like that. So I'm excited for that part of it too. So. And
pretty exciting. Any community that's able to upgrade their beautification with a project like Streetscape that's been in the plans for so long, it's finally going to get done. It'll
be exciting to see.
Good timing for you. It's something like that's going to be happening, and all those things. Just a final minute here or so. Jeff, any final comments here? It's exciting new year and lots of things on the horizon.
There really is, and we're so fortunate that Daley was able to come to work and that we can work as a team to keep things moving, because, you know, it is you can't take economic growth for granted. You have to work at it all the time, and you have to go out and you know, find the businesses and find the right combination. So we're looking forward to working with Daley and bright future, more things to talk about in the future.
Excellent. We look forward to catching up with it. Getting caught up on the latest going on in the city of Shelbyville here in February 2020. We thank the time of the Mayor of Shelbyville, Jeff Johnson, and Daley Schwengel, new Shelby County Director of Economic Development. Pleasure having you guys on the program.
Thanks for having us.
Thanks.
Thank you. And coming up next here on City Spotlight, we will switch locations and we'll have two segments on the latest going on in Shelbyville schools. But first, let's take a look at some of the upcoming activities going on in Shelbyville. we're back here on City Spotlight, this on-location episode on Shelbyville. As you can see, we've changed locations now. We're going to talk Shelbyville Schools in these next two segments, and we're back at a familiar place, the Shelbyville Schools District office. And we welcome back to the program here, Shane Schuricht.
Thank you.
New title, Superintendent of Schools here in Shelbyville.
Yep.
And first-time guest to the program, Kyle Ladd. He's the new Shelbyville High School principal. Kyle, pleasure to have you on.
Yeah, thank you very much.
Gentlemen, pleasure to have you on. Great to talk Shelbyville Schools here on City Spotlight as we tape here in late February 2020. And Kyle, you're a first-time guest to the program. Can you tell our audience just a little bit about yourself, please?
Yeah, sure. My name's Kyle Ladd. I was raised primarily here in Shelbyville, Illinois. I'm a product of the Shelbyville School District myself, and for the past 8 years I've been a teacher here in Shelbyville. I've been the president of the Shelbyville Education Association, and now I've transitioned into the role of principal of this Shelbyville High School. I have 2 young kids, and who I'm very excited about. I love them very much, very dearly, and I'm excited for them to attend school here in Shelbyville as well.
So you said you're from Shelbyville.
Yep.
And you're moving up the educational ranks. What's that like to be an educator in your hometown?
Well, it's wonderful. I mean, we have a team of really talented teachers at Shelbyville High School and across the district, really. We have amazing kids all across the district and in our community. Our parents are incredibly supportive, and we have outstanding business partners. So I'm a very fortunate person to be a steward of this responsibility.
Well, it's a pleasure to have you on for the first time. We look forward to hearing your comments in this segment. Shane, first off, Shane was the previous high school principal, and as we talked with Shane last spring, there was a transition period of
there was.
Denise Bentz, former superintendent now, and talking about that transition for you. And has it been a smooth transition here for you?
Yeah, it's been a very smooth transition. I think one of the good decisions that our community, our school board has made was we actually brought Mrs. Bentz back in a part-time capacity as a special education coordinator. So that's helped me with my transition as well, having somebody who I trust and who I respect that I can bounce questions off of and take advantage of her expertise. But all in all, the transition has been very good, very positive. We teach our kids and we teach our teachers that we need to be lifelong learners. And that's what this has done for me, as I was a principal for 14, 15 years, and now I'm learning a whole different set of responsibilities and tasks, and it's keeping me sharp, it's keeping me fresh as I progress throughout my career.
If I recall, you talked about this as your natural progression.
Yes, it is.
As you go, as Kyle mentioned here, he was a teacher and now he's a high school principal, so that natural progression in the K through 12 ranks, I guess.
And it's kind of neat to see him going through this process as well.
Excellent. Well, here shortly when we talk about what's going on at the high school with Kyle, he's going to talk about some of the work that's going to be done on the auditorium. What other physical changes can you tell us about that's going on here in the school district?
Well, we're proud of a lot of the things that we're doing in our school district, and facilities upgrades and maintaining our facilities is definitely one of those features. Kyle's going to talk about the auditorium, but we're undergoing a major project this summer. We're replacing 25,000 square feet of tile in our middle school.
Wow.
So that's a two-phase project. Not only are we having to take out the tile with the asbestos abatement, then we have to put that tile in. So it's going to be a very busy summer, not only for the middle school, but for the high school as well with the auditorium project.
Obviously not knowing how the work goes, do you anticipate that is all going to get completed before the next school year?
Yes, it's going to be completed before the next school year.
Okay, very good. And I know you also want to share with our viewers some things about community relations.
Well, as Kyle touched on earlier, we live in a tremendous community. I'm proud to say that I also live in this community. I'm a member of it. And when we ask for something or if we need something, our community is there for us. As Kyle's going to talk about in a little bit with his auditorium project, the community response has been tremendous, and I just know that we're all very blessed to be in this community.
Schools, as we've talked about here on City Spotlight, the heart of every community, so it's great to hear that great relationship between everyone there. Thank you, Shane. Kyle, as we just talked about in the last minute or so, you're going to have you share with us what's going on with the auditorium at Shelbyville High School.
Yeah. So the auditorium has been a major initiative. We really kick-started it at the beginning of the school year with a crafted plan in place. So over the past 3 or 4 months, we've been really meticulous in how we've strategized for fundraising, and we've had a kind of a multitude of different approaches with that. To date, we've raised $106,000, and that has been entirely driven by donations from the community. So businesses, individuals who wanted to contribute, and then we've had some special events and fundraisers in place. So just to touch on a few of them, we had a daddy-daughter dance a couple weekends ago, which was a major
Awesome.
success for the community, and a great way to build partnerships with families. We've had kind of like a little punch card that businesses supported, and hopefully helps to drive some traffic to our area businesses in addition to providing funds for the school as well. We've been driven with the fundraising efforts with kind of special events that we've planned out, some targeted fundraising approaches, but then we're also crafting up a donor wall in the auditorium, and that's driven a lot of people to want to donate to the initiative as well. So we're very fortunate, and we're kind of approaching it as a good, better, and best sort of arrangement right now, where, like I said, today we have $106,000 cash in the bank. That will give us a really good start. If we really want to go to that better or best sort of threshold, we're going to need a little bit of help, but we have a plan in place for that as well.
Obviously, we showed some video of the current auditorium, and we obviously look forward to seeing the future work done on it here on City Spotlight. Another year of CEO in Shelby County, and how many students do you have from Shelbyville High School in this year's Shelby County CEO class?
Yep, we have 5 students right now enrolled in CEO.
Okay.
Kind of a cool thing about CEO is, as an extension of the school district, they go out to and provide partnerships and community outreach to area businesses. We think that number of students involved will grow gradually, given that CEO is now offered as a dual credit course within our school district. So I know just personally from my experience as the principal, we have a lot of students that are very much interested in that program, and it's a great outreach for kids and for business.
It's in a number of communities, and we've talked with every community here in our Central Illinois area here on City Spotlight that have CEO, and just the wonderful things and experiences those students are getting out of it. My last question for you, Kyle, here as we wrap up this segment, can you tell us a little bit about the college and career program that you have there?
Yeah. We have 22 different dual credit offerings at the high school at this point in time, which is phenomenal for a small school district in our community. In addition to that, we're really trying to market ourselves as a premier provider of college and career education. So whether it be agricultural, vocational, technology, business, or family and consumer sciences, we're making a concerted effort to grow our offerings within those fields. We have a college and career readiness event, kind of like a career fair, that's upcoming on March 16th. Right now, to date, we have 40 different businesses, colleges, industry all coming, and with the intent to have our juniors and seniors kind of have like a little job shadow, career exploration sort of event where they can see what sort of opportunities exist right here in Shelbyville. And for a lot of our kids, just knowing that those opportunities are available is a major win for both our community and for our school district.
March 16th is the date for that?
March 16th,
Folks at home are seeing this a few days before that, so look out for that happening there at Shelbyville High School. And that's all the time we have for this first segment. We'd like to thank the time here of our first 2 segments on Shelbyville Schools, Shane Schuricht and Kyle Ladd. Gentlemen, it's been a pleasure having you on City Spotlight.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you very much.
Appreciate it. And coming up next here on City Spotlight, we'll talk with 2 more educators here in Shelbyville Schools. Stay tuned. Thank you for tuning in to City Spotlight. You can check out past episodes, including the one you're watching right now, on YouTube. To check out recent episodes of Central Illinois towns featured on City Spotlight, search on YouTube, City Spotlight, with the show number and the name of the town. Listed on your screen are the last 5 episodes of City Spotlight. And we're back here on City Spotlight, this on-location episode here on Shelbyville. Another segment here talking about Shelbyville schools, and we welcome back to the program 2 familiar guests, Russ Tomblin, Moulton Middle School Principal, and Ryan Scott, Main Street Elementary School Principal. Gentlemen, it's great to have you on again.
Thanks for having us.
Appreciate it. Same location, I think exact same seating. Taped 2 years ago with these two gentlemen to my left, January of 2018, so look forward to hearing about what's going on at your respective schools. Start off with Russ first, and I know you want to talk about a lot of cool activities going on at Moulton Middle School.
Yeah, we're really lucky. We have a lot of activities going on, not just from the athletic front, but some extracurricular activities that have started recently. We have a ukulele club. That's probably the first one I want to touch on. It is highly entertaining.
Wow.
It all started with one of our high school students actually saying something to our band director, hey, I want to learn this. And she said, okay, well, let's learn together. Wow. And that's exploded to about 30 students in what's called an advanced ukulele club, and then 15 in a beginner club.
Wow.
And those students went and presented at the Illinois Music Educator Association conference in Peoria, and it was pretty awesome to see. So
it is amazing, not to cut you off, but it's amazing what one idea can spark and then just blow up out of nowhere.
Absolutely.
Wow.
And so then kind of along those same lines, an art club started just this year, and we have roughly 20 students in the middle school, 15 in the high school, and these kids, get together and they're learning things outside of the regular curriculum, and then trying to give back as well. So, at the elementary, sometimes with like the main event, something that Ryan, hosts with his students, they need people to face paint, and that's something that those students are willing to go and do and use their artistic talents to kind of give back. And then a third club that just started recently is a coding club. So our art teacher, we're really looking at independent study in this situation instead of a core curriculum. And Dr. Brown of Dr. Brown Baby Bottles said, hey, I would love to be a part of this. And he lives here in Shelbyville, so he got together with our art teacher, and we're looking at those STEM activities, the science, technology, engineering, and math. But there's a lot of times people don't realize that the arts can be included in that, and it's STEAM. And so our art teacher's involved, knowing that visual art is a part of that. And so they're working together, and with the goal of having students do some robotics and go through some mazes by the end of the year, and then hopefully expand upon that next year.
And I know you wanted to mention something about the mentoring program.
Yeah, Shelbyville at Moulton, we've had a mentoring program for about 7 years now, and we have 16 students that meet with a community member 30 minutes a week, once a week. And this is not about academics. It's really just about having someone outside in the community that the students can interact with. That's an adult that maybe would have a different perspective than what they have at home. Sometimes kids want to kind of tune out their parents or maybe even their teachers. I'm sure not me as an administrator, but possibly a few people. And so we want to provide that opportunity. So we have 16 students that do that, and if anyone is interested in the Shelbyville community and being a part of that, there's a way that we can make that happen. We're always looking to expand, and they could contact us at the middle school, myself, or Mrs. Mathis, our guidance counselor.
Excellent. Very important thing of having a mentoring program in K through 12. Many educators here on City Spotlight have talked about the importance of mentoring program. So thank you very much, Russ. And Ryan, I know you're excited to tell us about the Rams Family Night event.
I am. We have an event that we're putting together, and it's really coming together pretty nicely, with a lot of kudos to our community and other groups that are involved within our own district. Russ mentioned the art club, ukulele club. Both of those pieces will have a part of this as well.
Awesome.
But the point is, just about every school district in America probably has something about partnering with parents, the community, stakeholders, however they word it, in their mission statement. But sometimes that's more difficult than it sounds to create a shared vision, really have great frequent communication and targeting at what we can team up and do the best for these kids. So this Rams Family Night kind of has two pieces to it. The first piece is a student fun event. So at our Shelbyville High School on Tuesday, March 31st, we will have an event that will draw our pre-K to third grade age students is who we're targeting. And at that event, they would have a lot of experiences, one of them being kind of an American Ninja Warrior Taekwondo type session with one of our local businesses will run that, Piercy's Taekwondo.
Nice.
Another session will be our own talent in Shelbyville High School, a talent show
That could be fun.
with the ukulele club and some other pieces in there as well. And then a third station is a partnership with Eastern Illinois University and their Rural Teacher Corps. They will be planning a craft and link it into a social emotional lesson on the recognizing emotions. So that's the student piece. Not to mention they get a free book bought by HSHS Good Shepherd is going to supply that,
Wow.
and a snack. So our students will be entertained, great experience that night at the high school. Now our parents are free to walk across to Moulton Middle School for a parent event. And this is really the main reason of having this. Let's get our parents together interacting with each other and our school and community members. The saying, it takes a village, it really does. And so we'll have a keynote speaker in the gym to address all of our parents, and these are really not even just parents, they're anybody that has a role in being an adult caregiver of developing youth. And then after that keynote speaker, we're going to have, I would say, close to 20 mini sessions available.
Wow.
And they'll be in each of the classrooms at Moulton. And so after that main keynote speaker, a parent can think about their own children, their own needs, their own interests, and decide, based on a short, brief description, which mini session that might be appropriate for them. Anything from social-emotional development, early literacy skills, because we always meet with parents, especially first-time parents, and you give them a little update on their kids, and at the end of it, they're still like, so is that good? Right. You know, what can I be doing to helping? What does that look like? But we have several mini sessions available for parents, and then if parents participate in that, we're going to send them home with a free pizza from Monocle's Pizza or Joe's Pizza. It's not like take it home and bake, it's take it home and eat. And the only thing that we ask of the families is to take that pizza home, share the meal as a family unit, take a picture and post it to our social media with the hashtag RAMFam or Eat Together, Read Together. And that's a piece of it too, that family unit and bonding and sharing that experience together. So we've essentially taken care of supervision of their children at a fun event that they'll enjoy, and also dinner that night. Also that we can come together and talk about what's the best that we can do for our kids in our community.
You set me up nicely. A lot to digest there.
Yeah, there's a lot of pieces to that, but I'm pretty excited about it. A little shout out to Russ, has really been a great part of not only his building, his team, but he's also serving several roles in helping us put that together.
Big time event in Shelbyville, the Rams Family Night, and that's March 31st, and that's going to take place where again?
The student fun event will be at the Shelbyville High School from 5 to 7, which, if you know the Shelbyville community, the campus is the high school here across a walkway and drive-through lane, Moulton Middle School. So the parent side will be at Moulton Middle School while their students are across the way at the high school.
Great to get caught up on Shelbyville Schools with all of our educators here. Ryan and Russ, it's been a pleasure having you on again on City Spotlight.
Thanks for having us.
Thank you very much.
Appreciate it. Learned a lot here on City Spotlight going on in Shelbyville. We thank you for your time here on City Spotlight. We'll see you next time. City Spotlight is supported by Consolidated Communications. CCI is honored to salute the cities and their leaders in the area, as well as providing TV, internet, and phone service to local homes and businesses. We live where we work and are proud to support the communities we serve. More information available at consolidated.com.